It's lunchtime live here. We thought we'd have a little chat, me and Sam, about Sunday's match, Sam.
Yeah, Sunday's match, big one coming up.
Looking forward to it. I'm not sure if you are looking forward to it or not.
Not really. I think it should be another defeat. I said our season was done 5 games ago. We changed it around a little bit against Chelsea and we looked better defensively, but Chelsea away was not the game to go and try and do that. It was West Ham, Brentford, and Man U. They're not on great form, but they're still Man U. I say they're not on great form. We're on abysmal form. So, found out a stat the other day that Ruud's the 3rd worst manager in the Premier League of all history, with an 80% loss rate in his time. I know he's obviously had a short time in the Premier League, but still, it's not good, and clearly it's not going to change going into the Man U game. I don't think it's going to change for the rest of the season.
Well, it is Man United on Sunday. It's a rubbish time, 7 o'clock on a Sunday. Not looking forward to that particularly. Are you, Sam?
Not really. I've got a lot of better things to do, like wind down.
The wind up for the Monday.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is then at 7 o'clock. Of course, if you're watching this live, do let us know your comments and your views on Sunday's game. We're going to go through, we're doing it a little bit differently today. We're going to pick our team and just run through it, and we want to know who you guys would pick in team. So if you are watching, do let us know live. Mark says here, hi lads, just going through the motions till we're down now, unfortunately. I think Mark speaks for a lot of fans, really, Sam. It is one of those where if Wolves win, they play at 3 o'clock on Saturday against Southampton in Southampton. If Wolves win, they're 9 points ahead with effectively another point for the goal difference. So do you sort of understand what Mark's saying there?
Yeah, I mean, like I've said we've been down for the past month. I think the club's run by a bunch of jokers at the moment. I don't think they know what they're doing. Proven by the safe standing being chucked around all over the stadium.
Yes, have you seen that?
Rather than, like I said, they're putting in different sections around the stadium rather than.
That's not confirmed though, is it?
No, I think
that's a rumour. The safe standing zones.
I think it just shows you though, all like I said, everything from the start of this year to the charging £25 per plastic card that you already own, to everything that's gone on, not just this season, but I think it's a cherry on the cake. PSR, everything that's happened. And it's typical Leicester. We're going to suffer the brunt of it next year again in the Championship. It feels like we got relegated 2 years ago, and we said we're going to be fine. We're not going to get relegated. And up until maybe the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been in that fight even after losing 12 games out of 13 now under Ruud. We're still in a position where we're not out and down like Southampton are. Yet we are setting up for the Championship, and we've accepted that, which is the polar opposite to what we did 2 years ago when we weren't preparing.
Jake. So that was Jake walking behind, knocking the camera there. Thanks, mate, for that. Just sit still. Comment your views, guys. Let us know what you think. Yeah, the safe standing was. Again, just talk us through that. It's been noted or suggested that it's going to be in 4 different zones in the ground, sort of where Union FS stand or sit, L block, P block, and maybe some in the away stand. It just seems strange to have potentially 4 different zones of safe standing happening.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Like I say, it just sums up the club. It's a bit all over the place, everywhere, in every aspect. And I'm not looking forward to going down again. I think, if we do go down, the rules Championship, whoever runs it, they're going to hone us quite a lot. They're going to have the points deduction, the transfer embargo ready to proper give to us at the start of our campaign next year. So I'm surprised that we haven't really tried to fight to stay up this year, considering I think it's one of the worst Premier League bottom 3s it's ever been. I think we are at the moment. We're on track to be the worst
bottom 3, as I said,
in the history of Premier League. The least amount of points ever by a
Charlie says here, never mind winning, we can't even score a goal. I mean, we're going to kind of pick some teams today. Yeah. We want to know your views on that. I don't really know if we're going to start at the strikers then. I don't know where you start really with the strikers at the moment. Do you?
I've said it a few times. I guess my argument would be put Jake Evans in there from the under 21s because Vardy can't do anything, Daka can't do anything, Edouard had not really seen play, so there's no point in even trying to mention him because he's not going to get into that team. He's just a waste of space. We tried Daka and Vardy against Chelsea. Wasn't really the game to do it. For me, like I said, I would have not.
Well, that's it. Do you give them another go against Man United?
I don't think it matters. I think we're just rubbish. We're not scoring.
You are down in the dumps with all.
Well, who isn't? You know, we're going to be more than likely 9 points behind. You know, I can't see Wolves slipping up against Southampton because that they are going to realise that this is a big game for them to creep away from those teams. So there's no reason why they can't go and get something at Southampton, and there's no reason why they're not going to go and want to get something there. Anything less than a win, they're probably going to consider not good enough, and that is how they start to slip away. So,
Mark says, "I'm going to bed at 6 o'clock." I think you feel like that's what you should be doing. Stephen says here, start with Mavadide, Ricardo, Vardy, and Daka. Would you agree with what Stephen says there?
I don't think it matters. I've seen enough from every single player, including the ones you've listed this season. I know Pereira's been out.
Ricardo look better. He improves the squad. He improves that 11, doesn't he?
Yeah, but having a right back that can play better than Justin is one thing. But having strikers and wingers and attacking mids like El Khanous that don't do anything. I know people like El Khanous, and you've said you quite like him.
I do like him. I think El Khanous looks decent, but
he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't score any goals, and he doesn't create any assists.
Yeah, we looked at Maddison's stats, and even Smodic, someone that's been injured for Ipswich and only just signed for them. He's pushing 30 now. First season in the Premier League, he's done more than El Khanous, who cost double his price. So it shows. I think as much as he could be a decent prospect for the future, he's clearly not valued enough for me this season. And even since Ruud's come in, Buonanotte's fallen off massively. He's not getting assists or goals either.
Well, nobody is. No, you can't get an assist if we don't score a goal. So we've had 7 games with no goals. So therefore, literally no assists, is there? Daka, when did Daka play against Chelsea, says Andy?
Started, did he not?
Yeah, he did. Andy's trying to be funny. He's trying to be funny in there, isn't he?
I messed up.
So, listen, again, let's go back to the keeper. It's obviously going to be Hermansen. There's no point discussing that. It will be Hermansen. Are we going to stick with that back 5? Because I would stick with the back 5. If you're watching this, let us know in the comments if you'd stick back 5. Not necessarily the same back 5, but I would play 5 at the back.
Yeah, I think we did. I think they were better than what they have been. I think the back 5, like I said, they've been better. They were better anyway. But again, like I said, it was Chelsea. It was not the game to go play it. I saw a lot of comments from Chelsea fans saying they weren't happy that it was only 1-0. They should have, gone out there and beaten us more to a better standard. And the Enzo ball, that just proves you what Enzo ball gets. It was a 1-0 win.
But we looked a bit more solid.
We looked better.
We did. We looked better.
But you
not
can't,
a lot.
how
it
better
didn't
can
get
you
us
look
any
when
points.
the next 5 games are against top 8 clubs?
Oh, we need to defend against Man United. You've got to start from a solid base.
We needed to do this 5 games ago.
Yeah, but we're doing it now.
Not the time to do it, which is why
it is the
out.
time.
No, it's not. It was 5 games ago, which is why we're already out.
Well, yeah, I agree. We should have done it 5, 6, 7, 8 games
That's what
ago.
I mean. So it doesn't matter that we're trying to do it now.
But at least he's trying it now.
No, I disagree. I think he's wrong for trying it now. I think if he's going to have some balls, stick to what he's doing. Even though he's doing it wrong, I think the way he plays rubbish under Ruud. But have some balls and stick to it, or change it. 8 games ago, stop being such a stubborn prick. If you ask me, it's my honest opinion.
Okay. Mark says Chelsea were poor. Mike says losing to the same team 4 times in a season, some kind of record incoming. Well, listen, I don't know the stats for that. I don't think Sam will know the stats for that. And then, you have to wait and see. Play them in the cup. And we played them twice in the cup. So I guess.
Can you play them any more times? I guess.
Pre-season friendly.
I don't know, does that count in the league, or does that count in the season?
Community Shield, maybe.
Community Shield. I'm sure. Maybe it is a record. Probably a record, or it's at least tying. I'm sure someone else has played the team 4 times. So.
James Hill. James who won the Pucker Pies. Well done, James. He won the Pucker Pies. He spotted it was Mark or Brighton. At least says. That's probably the best thing that's happened to you, James, for Leicester City in the last couple of weeks, isn't it? Winning a season's worth of Pucker Pies. So well done to you. Charlie says here, why has the recruitment been so terrible over the last couple of years? Listen, Charlie, I'm going to say, yes, I sort of agree with you. there has been some successes over the last couple of years. Fatawa is a success. El Kanous, I think, will be a success. Hermansen, what is a success? But there is scattered amongst there some Mavadidi. Jury's out.
He's certainly a fine line between success and an okay player. Fatawa.
Well, Fatawa's still next year. If we win the championship, I'm sure Fatawa and Mavadidi will be worth their weight.
Yeah, probably
because they're championship-ish players.
Probably, but we shouldn't be a championship club. We should still be in a top 10 Premier League position. We should have never fell to that level. We should have never dropped to that standard. God knows why, because the team we had was, it's happened before. West Ham did it a few years back in the early 2000s. They got relegated with a team where they probably shouldn't have. And we did the same thing. We shouldn't have got relegated, but we did. And this is where we are. But I just think if we get relegated, I think fans are forgetting that the championship is waiting for us, like hound dogs, to go back down to give us a point deduction and give us PSR constrictions.
Maybe
transfer embargo.
Why maybe? Because I don't think.
But we broke championship rules, and they can only enforce it if we're in their league. That's why we got.
I don't think we did break championship rules.
We did. I'm pretty sure under the standards of what we spent, we probably would. And
I think you're going to find we're not going to get anything from the championship next year.
I don't know. I think it'd be.
But let's concentrate on Sunday's game. Are we agreeing 5 at the back again?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do 5 at the back.
Sam's just completely given up, if you ask me.
I have given up. What's the point? We go to the games, and I don't expect us to win every game, but I expect us to play some decent football.
If and it is an if, but if Wolves were to lose at Southampton, which is a big if this season. But if Wolves were to lose against Southampton, and if we were to beat Man United, there kind of is a glimmer of hope. But that's 2 big ifs, isn't it? 2 massive ifs.
I wouldn't even say, even if Wolves lost to Southampton, I don't think that does anything for the players to the Man U game.
Well, it does, because we would be with 7.
No, because it's not the first time.
We're 6 points behind now.
Yeah, it's not the first time though this season that we've been.
No, I know, but they're 2 big ifs. If they lose and if we win, it's 3 points, isn't it?
Not the first time this season though we've been in that position. I'm pretty sure the Everton game, when we played them, that was our chance to go, ahead of them or ahead of Wolves, and we didn't do it. It's not the first time we've been in a position where if a team loses and we win, then we're closing the gap. We're not even going ahead of them. We're talking about going from being 6 points behind to either 9 points or 3 points. Yeah. Either way, we're still going to be behind them. And
we will, but we play them away. So that's why I say there is a glimmer of hope if Wolves lose and if Leicester win. Yeah. I don't think that will happen.
I think Wolves are going to smash Southampton. I think we're going to come away with 2 or 3-0 loss against United.
Yeah, Alex says 1-0 to Leicester on Sunday. I think the Southampton Wolves game has a massive impact on how as
on the
fans we
not
go.
On the players the players wouldn't care. The players don't care. Have they shown any shred of they care this season?
I think you've given up.
I have given up because the players have, and the manager doesn't care. He's just there for the paycheck. The players are majority there for the paycheck.
Andy says here we should have overspent like Forest and Everton did and stayed up and just paid a fine. I 100% agree with Andy.
Yeah,
that's exactly what those 2 did. They overspent. They knew they were doing it. They got better players because of it. They stayed up, and then when the fine is dished out, it's next season. I would rather we should have done that in January, because then next year, if we've got a fine, there would be Leeds, Sheffield United and Burnley up there, which I would say we are better than all those 3 potentially. So we should have took the fine. In the end, I don't understand January. I mean, we joke about, do you remember the Ryan Bennett January window? Well, I think this is the Woyo Koulibaly one where the guy doesn't start for us. He started once against Brentford and comes off at half time.
What do you expect? He cost less than 2 million.
Well, I don't know.
He's not.
Why bother buying him? Because especially if Ricardo's back now.
Because we needed a right back, and the second
we didn't play him.
Because Justin was performing. The second we signed him, Justin started playing okay. And no offense to Koulibaly, you get what you pay for. We signed him for 1.9 million quid, which is not that much money in football terms.
I mean,
he's not that good of a player, if you ask me. We signed him from
what? No, he's not. He's
24.
Yeah, he'll probably be a decent championship player.
Yeah, but so will Justin, because we're not selling him. Or Pereira.
John says here, so John, I want you to answer your own question there. John says, problem is he won't play our best 11. So John, who will he not pick? Who you think he should do?
The internet is going wacky. There's a fine line between what is classed as a best 11. Do we even know a best 11? No, I don't think anyone's in.
Well, there's probably 12 or 13 players who are just. To be fair, there's 2 or 3 players who are probably Premier League standard. I think nowadays.
Who?
Well, I think Hermansen is Premier League standard.
One. Yeah.
I think El Canoes could play in the Premier League for a middle lower
He's
team.
not proven it.
I think he's been okay.
I don't think he's I think he's looked.
Ricardo Pereira, when he's fit, is probably Premier League level.
Let me know when he's fit then.
I think Wilfred Ndidi is kind of there-ish.
I think if pre-injury he was. Again, he's another way too.
I think I hear what you're saying. I don't think Vestergaard is. I don't think Cody is. I don't think Fires is. I don't think James Justin is.
You can make a question for Hermansen. I think
Hermansen is definitely Premier League. We'll sell him.
Yeah, we'll sell him. Not for much because he's a goalie, but No, I don't think anyone else in that team has done anything this year. No one stood out. Buenanati stood out for the first 10 games when Cooper was in charge.
John has answered his own question here, and he said Mavididi and Buenanati. The thing is with Mavididi, John, is when he plays from the start, he often doesn't give you that much. He doesn't track back enough. He doesn't. When was the last time, John, you saw Mavididi take on a player or do anything where you go, wow? I can't remember. He's okay. And Buenanati as well. I don't know what's going on with Buenanati. Buenanati looks like he's had
Roots come in.
It looks like Roots knocked the stuffing out of him. Yeah.
He was in, I think, 5 goals, 5 assists in the first 11 games under Cooper.
See here, the Dallas 215 on YouTube says, irrespective of the Wolves result, just winning against United still keeps us in touch. Any points Wolves drop at the weekend is a bonus. I kind of disagree with you there, because I think if Wolves win before we even play Man United, we're 9 points plus goal difference. That's 10 points behind them. I get it. If we were to beat Man United, that keeps us 6 points behind them. But you're really stretching
even
it.
Best case scenario,
you need Wolves to lose. We need something.
I don't think it matters. Best case scenario, we're 3 points behind them, but then we've got to play 5 of the top 8 teams. That for me is best. We will drop those points again. There is how many games left in the season now? 8, 9, 10?
There's 10. There's 10 games.
So I'm not being funny. Out of the next 10 games, I'm pretty sure 5, 6 of them are in the top 8 for us. So
we play Man United on Sunday. Then we're away at Man City.
Newcastle away. Then Brighton,
Newcastle at home.
Brighton
away.
Liverpool at home.
Yeah.
Then we've got Wolves. But by that point,
we've got to keep in. If you've got any chance, you've got to keep in touch for the Wolves game on the 26th of April.
There's no way we're playing 4 out of the top 6 and trying to keep in top. Yeah. Like I said, I think our season's done already. I think
Mark says ifs and buts, but I think yours is just, it's done.
It is done. Like I said, the results were against Everton and Wolves. Again, how can we play Wolves at home in a position where we go ahead of them and then we're 3-0 down in the first half? We've not scored a goal. I think we've scored 4 goals in the last 10 games. With something ridiculously bad for that, even 4 goals in the last 12, 13 games. It's poor. Ruud's come in and he's made this, he's worse than Cooper. Cooper knew what he was doing at this level of football, at least in the Premier League, because he did it with Forest. He kept them up. Ruud's come in. We took a swing in the dark and we said it was a gamble, and the gamble has massively not paid off. And we've not rolled the dice again. So it's down to us. And it wouldn't surprise me in 3 or 4 games' time if we end up sacking Ruud anyway, and we'll go, what's the point? Why did you keep him for that long?
Yeah, there is a little international break after Sunday. So if you were ever going to get rid of Ruud, it would just have to be Monday, wouldn't it? If we were to lose.
For me, it was 5 losses ago.
Yeah.
But 5 more losses onto that. We saw the goal of the month for February. It was
the goal of. Can you believe they ran the goal of the month competition in February? a different world. Mark says here, I agree, we're done, but get Dyche in ready for the Championship. I said get Dyche in, like you're saying, maybe 2 or 3 games ago.
Yeah.
If he keeps us up, marvellous. But actually, I would rather have Sean Dyche try and get us out of the Championship than because we might still walk. Because we might turn around and say, well, they didn't back me in the January transfer window. So
I think he might have bipolar disease anyway, Rude, the way he talks. Came into the club saying, I'm going to play for results, continues to play 11 games the exact same way and lose them, in a row. Then he changes it away to Chelsea, away to a top 4 side. That's when he decides it's the right time to change the formation. Deluded, if you ask me. Absolutely no clue what to do. I wouldn't do that as a manager, and I've got no credentials. So,
if you're watching this, let us know. Do you feel? Sam's obviously very much down in the dumps about it all, and it is done in his books. Do you agree with Sam? Are you done? Do you feel like it's gone? I noticed there's lots of seats available for Sunday, partly because it's a Sunday night at 7 o'clock. I think partly fans are done. Again, I don't really want to say it. We've already debated slightly. If we're 2-3-0 down after certain, we're just going to go home or whatever. Depends on what the players are doing, doesn't it?
On a 7 o'clock on a Sunday to watch football, that's shit. Why should fans have to go and do that when it's not even
there to try and back the team?
Yeah, but they're not backing themselves. They're not backing the fans. They're not trying. You go onto that pitch and actually try. The season we got relegated under Rodgers, it was this toxic. I'd say
it was like this, except I think we had far better players.
Yes, but in the that's why it was an issue. But when we did the Great Escape, we were just as rubbish as we are now, if not worse. But we actually
they bothered
wanted to play.
They were bothered.
Every game they were bothered and they wanted to play. I can't see this one player. If I said he wanted to go pre-December, he's already said he wants to leave the club. Yet we still continue to play a player that's pants. He played against Chelsea and I think he had a 6 rating out of 10, which is the worst. So,
Andy says here, and yet they have the cheek to send you an email asking how your match day experience was. I haven't had one of those, although it does make me laugh. On my social media, it pops up all the time. Come down and watch Leicester in the hospitality zones and things like that. And I'm like, wow, yeah, I don't fancy that at the moment. Dadas here says, common sense says we are down, but the games have not all been played. Twists and turns to come. It isn't over, Sam. I understand what you're saying there. I'm going to keep. I've got a fingers crossed. I am at the point now. I think it is crucial this weekend, because I think if Wolves win, I just think there's not enough games left to try and turn it around. And if Wolves win, and if we lose, it does matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
Nick says Sam is right. We're gone.
It doesn't matter about how many games are left. We have 10 games left, and 5 of them are against the teams in the top 6, and we're getting destroyed by every team. We're playing teams that are 1 place ahead of us, 2 places, and we might do okay against Chelsea, but then previous weeks you get slaughtered by teams like Everton and Palace and Wolves, who are right next to us. And it doesn't, usually it doesn't build me with any confidence that it doesn't matter who we play. Like I said, if we played Southampton on Sunday, I wouldn't be going into that game thinking we're going to win. I think you'd go to it and say we need to win.
You're hoping that when we play Southampton and Ipswich at home that they are wins, but you're quite right.
Ipswich's mentality, Southampton,
they'll fancy us.
Southampton's mentality are probably the exact same as us. They're down. That even more so. They've had a stinker of a season. They're going down. Ipswich's mentality is they've probably got some chance of fighting for it. I probably would rather want to watch it the way Ipswich play at the moment. I've seen a few of their games, and they're not as good as teams. They've not got as much quality. Well,
come on, then.
At least they're fighting for it.
Let's round off with, if you're watching this live, get your score predictions in. Let's get a few on, and just be honest what you think the score's going to be. Let us know in the comments, and we'll get some up on screen. Sam, what do you? Well, let's do it a bit different. Let's pick what do you think is going to happen. Southampton v Wolves. And then what do you think is going to happen? Leicester v Man United. some score predictions.
Southampton v Wolves, I think it'll be a fairly even game. But I think Wolves are going to win, maybe 2-0 or 3-0. I think, they'll probably keep it tight, not concede anything, but then whittle Southampton down. And again, not hard to whittle a team down that just passes it around the back, same as us.
Well, I mean, what did Wolves spend in the January transfer window? Was it 20 or 40 million? They got two expensive players.
They spent enough to, to try and stay up.
They've got a better team than us.
And then Man U, 2-0, 3-0 Man U. We've not scored a goal in absolutely ages. We only conceded one against Chelsea. Again, the way that Chelsea played with Nebraska, their style is very passive and very slow. Man U are not going to do the same. They're going to go all out against us. And if you ask me, Man U's attack is, when it's on its day, they've got very good players like Bruno Fernandes. So,
who?
Bruno Fernandes or Fernandes.
Fernandes.
I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
I don't know how to say his name.
You mean Fernandes?
I'm pretty sure it's said
Bruno.
Fernandes if you ask him.
Fernandes.
I think even though it says Fernandes, it's pronounced Bruno Fernandes. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's how it says.
Bruno Fernandes.
Hey, Bruno.
Anyway, what score did you say?
2 or 3-0 Man U.
Leicester are going to win 2 or 3-0.
No,
fantastic.
Man U.
What?
Man U.
Man U. And Wolves are going to lose at Southampton.
You keep dreaming.
Come on, we'll keep dreaming. Come on, we can do it.
Nah, we're done. We're done. The season's
We're not done. It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
There you go. See, I was right because FIFA said it.
How'd you say it then?
Pretty sure it is Bruno Fernandes. That's how you say
Fernandes.
it. I'm pretty sure if you listen to the way he says it himself, it's not Fernandes, even though it's spelt that way. Like Ulloa was Ulloa, so you'd say Ulloa or something. But his name is Ulloa.
I'm always here to learn something.
There
so
you go then.
Bruno Fernandes.
See?
Fernandes. That's that. Thank you, Mark.
I said it.
Well, thank you, Mark. So he's not going to score. Leicester's going to win by 2 or 3. Southampton are going to have a miracle. Listen, I am just hoping that something happens down there. Andy says we'll be down with 3 games to go. I mean, that would be a miserable last 3 games if
we're
we're
lucky,
already
we'll be down
down.
3 games. I think you might find it'll be about 5 games.
Mark's saying 4-1 Man United. John, you need to quantify 2. He's put the 2 first and the 1 second. So I'm going that John has said 2-1 to Leicester. Mark's saying he thinks the Wolves will be 3-1 to Wolves. John is saying 3-1 Southampton. You see, I think I'm on John's wavelength. John's still got the belief. Keep the faith. That used to be the saying back in the 90s. Keep the faith.
Someone's put something in your coffee this morning, clearly.
Charlie, thanks Charlie for watching. It says 5-3 to the. Do you remember the 5-3 game?
About 10 years ago now. Probably is.
It was. Well, it was. Was it the greatest escape season or not? Or was it the?
It's when we had a fairly decent start to the Premier League, and then we dipped right off, and then we brought it back up.
What's your biggest memory from the 5-3? Cambiasso! Come on, it's got to be that moment, hasn't it? Cambiasso screaming into the corner.
Probably that lovely chip.
That goal, what a goal.
Who scored that lovely chip for Man U against Michael?
Yeah.
Di Maria, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Di Maria. Lovely
yeah, he
chip.
did. It was a great. We don't talk. It's Cambiasso scoring the goal and then running into the corner and sliding.
Probably
the thing is, we could do with somebody like a Cambiasso. We've got nobody out there who you actually look to. Like we didn't. We haven't signed anybody. You look in the middle of the pitch and you go, there is a leader. You know,
tried to do it with.
I don't even see it from Harry Winks.
Harry Winks is. I'm pretty sure he was one of the players holding up the We Miss You Enzo. You know, he was definitely part of that group.
Mark says brilliant game. It was a brilliant game. Yeah. But back then, beating Man United 5-3 was like, we thought it couldn't get any better. Obviously, we know what happened.
Start of their downfall, wasn't it then?
Yes, and the start of our uprise, wasn't it? Mike says Vardy's first Premier League goal. I can't remember if it was.
I think it might be.
Might have been. I mean, certainly I remember, obviously, the Cambiasso goal and the 5-3, and it was great. We just need Southampton to do something first.
Which they won't.
It's not over yet. Yeah, should we have a bet?
A bet. Go on then. What do you want to bet?
That I think we'll be closer to Wolves by Monday morning than we are today. Yeah, that's a bet.
We'll be close.
In points, we're 6 points behind now. We're literally 6 points behind Wolverhampton Wanderers now. I think we'll be closer to them on Monday.
So you think we'll be
closer? 5 will be less points.
This sounds like but a win or a draw would do that.
Hey, you're saying Wolves are definitely going to win. Man U are definitely going to win. So come on, let's have a cheeky fiver. Fiver. All right. There we go. You've seen it. We've done it live. A fiver.
Easy money.
Someone give anybody a fiver.
Well, no.
All right. Well, he's going to give me one on it in there. Anyway, listen, thanks for everybody who's been watching live. Thanks for all your comments in there. Don't forget, coming out tonight, and you do want to watch this, Jamie from the Fox's Arms has been chatting with the guys from the United Stand. So that's coming out later today. So do watch that. And of course, on Sunday, we've got the famous Aftermath show in the morning at 9:30. Jamie is back for the game. So if you want to come and meet him, come and say hello to him. We'll be down there with him outside the Fox and Saw pre-match. We might be in there after 20 minutes having a beer if we're 2-0 down, 3-0. If you're still going to come on Sunday.
I'll let you know how the Wolves game goes first.
He's so miserable. Anyway, from me, Phil, from Sam, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.